Hello everyone, welcome to Gianni's team selection ahead of Gameweek 34. We've had a lot of great weeks, haven't we, Gianni? 33 good weeks, climbing up the ranks, green arrows, everything looking good. It has been a horror show for you this week, hasn't it?
I'm absolutely fuming. It was all. I was always dreading the Salah game, right? Of course, like that was the big thing. It was like, okay, I'm happy with my team, but just Salah, just got to get through that one game. First 20 minutes of that football match, I knew I was on for an absolute beast. No, I knew I was on for an absolute beasting the moment I watched United against Norwich at Old Trafford and saw Norwich open United up. And then I just knew. And then I saw Liverpool not go 120 minutes. Part of my thinking was going against Salah was 120 minutes against City. Sure, he'll start, but Liverpool might be tired. They breezed through against City in 90. And then they did breeze. He was fresh last night and then seeing United. I'm ready to go bananas, mate. But I'm going to let you give an intro.
You must have seen Phil Jones in the team though and thought, oh, okay, he's the man that can keep Salah quiet, surely.
I mean, he's their best centre back at the moment, so I was actually all right with that. It's Harry Maguire. It gives me nightmares.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not been a great week. For anyone wondering, Gianni played the free hit chip. I watched back on the video last week to see if I could find any kind of amusing tidbits for the video, and I did say to you at one point, I was like, this free hit is high risk, high reward, big time. And unfortunately, it was too risky, I think. And yeah, it's been a bit of
going against one player in a stupid game, and that's all I did, and it stung me again. And do you know what I said last week? If you've got a free hit and you're thinking about it, don't go in 33. The only reason I can see the comments now, why did you only go in 33? Well, the only reason I did it was because I got 2 free hits left. You can't use them in successive weeks. My hand was forced, and it was the right play with 2 to go 33 and then 6 or 7. Perhaps I could have done 36 and 38, but the way the doubles fell. So anyway, I did it. And look, of course, Salah should have been in, but I backed Spurs. I had the option, back Spurs at home to Brighton, who had a week off, or back Salah against United off the back of quite a lot of games. Now, I know the right answer to that question, and I know I made the wrong decision. I blame myself completely. But Spurs versus Brighton, if they had played as they have been in the last 2 months, then Kane and Son both return. And actually, I'm fine with Salah because you can't have them all, right? But of course, the only game Kane and Son blank in since whenever, it was the game I put them both in on a free hit at the expense of going without Salah. Oh, yeah. Dreadful,
I mean, that's the problem was going without Salah wasn't your only mistake, as we're going to touch on in a bit, and as you've alluded to. But we've got a lot to dive in with this. Before we get into it, though, let's talk about Fest, because Fest is on Friday. I can't go, unfortunately. I'm at a stag. I'm absolutely devastated to be missing it. But of course, you'll be there. Mark will be there. Ed, Kelly Sommers will be hosting. James Richardson will be there as well. Loads of people from the community are going. There's a quiz. Ed's doing stand-up. It's going to be amazing, right? 20 quid ticket. You get a free drink with that this Friday. If you haven't already got your ticket, you should get it and go.
It's going to be awesome. Like, if you're based in the UK and you can get to London easily on Friday, easily enough, make it happen. You genuinely won't regret it. Like, the reviews last time made what we're doing with Fest so worthwhile. Like, to see how many people were so excited to be part of that event, and it's just going to continue. We'll do a couple a year, but so many people that are really worried about sort of meeting FPL managers in person, because look, we all know FPL managers from YouTube, from Twitter, but we don't actually get much FaceTime with FPL managers. So to be able to put like a face to the Twitter handle is so nice, and it was just the best night. And you talk about FPL, but you form relationships, and like, these are people we spend a huge amount of time with online, so let's spend a bit of time with them in person as well. You'll be richer for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going, because I know there's lots of people who are worried about going, feeling, lots of people going on their own, and feeling like they're a bit worried. Completely understandable. I think the main thing is you've always got that shared interest together. Every single person at this event is going to be into fantasy football, so it's not like you need like a witty opener or or something like clever to say to anyone. You could literally just go, "How you doing this week?" Or in your case, did you sell Salah on your free hit? Or there's
someone's going to come and like lob a pie in my face, aren't
they? Absolutely, and you deserve it. To be fair,
I absolutely do. God, it's going to be a Mo Salah pie.
A Mo Salah pie. I don't know what that looks like. Dread to think. But yeah, Fest is awesome. I was there last time. It was absolutely great. So yeah, if you're on the fence or if you don't know what it is and all that kind of stuff, head to www.ffest.com and you can find the information out there. Or a message, Gianni or I, DM us, talk to Ed, talk to Mark, any of us, and we'll give you some more information about it. But basically, big meet up, lots of FPL managers, great night. And you'll enjoy.
I'm having an absolute nightmare with the free drink vouchers today. The delivery was missed, so I've just rung someone local and be like, "Can you produce these free drink vouchers in 24 hours notice, please?" And they're doing them for me, which is good. They are needed. So yeah, it's 20 quid, but you get a free London drink. So which we pay a £5 for, which is probably about 6-7 quid. So yeah, about 14 quid ticket. There you go. It's worth it just to get a selfie with James Richardson or to meet Kelly Summers. Like those two presenters are like, for me, like meeting them alone is worth it. Like so cool.
And if worse comes to worse, it'll be you buying everyone a drink on your credit card, right? Because if you can't get the vouchers. So
well, Ed will love that. Yeah, it's his favourite thing to do is buy people drinks.
Anyway, Gianni, enough stalling. Let's have a look at your Game Week 33 team. I'm sorry to bring this up. You did make a few changes based on the team that you showed last week.
Yeah.
We'll go through those in a second. But you did keep faith in the two things that you said, which was Fernandes captain.
Oh, I did. I was 50-50 on that. It was obviously Bruno and Ronaldo was a coin toss. So, yeah.
Yeah, you had it on Bruno last week and you kept faith in your two Spurs because you said you were definitely going to do that. So you didn't get swayed on that either. But your team is Schmeichel with 3, Target with 2, Cedric with 1, Shah with 2. Obviously, they've all got another game to come. We're recording this on Wednesday at 2:00. So they will be playing later tonight. Son with 3, Fernandes blanked. He got 3 points across 2 games. That is very depressing, especially as your captain. Saka with 2 and Chelsea's play. Sancho missing out. Again, you're coming off the bench in the second game. Wood with 2 and Palace at home. Ronaldo with 17 points. Your only player who hasn't blanked so far. And Harry Kane with 2. So one player has got you attacking returns so far, and you've got 6 to play.
And the guy I nearly captained, yeah. I'm absolutely livid. Tonight I've got to watch my boy Havertz, my boy Cancelo, my boy Reece James. These guys in my team who could easily outperform my dross free hit players like Newcastle players, Schmeichel. Fingers crossed, Cedric. So look, let's see where we go. It's been a nightmare. I'm struggling to talk about it because it's so bad. I'm having a good season. I don't know my rank. I'm guessing this pre-recorded is my rank going to be on screen?
It is, yeah.
I checked mid-game week, which is something I never do. But over a 2-day, 3-day game week, fine, I don't check game. But over a week long, it's like you can't go a week without knowing your FPL rank. So I checked on, I think, Sunday night. I was at 9K, like almost on the nose. And I was very happy with that. Obviously, this was before Mo Salah. No Trent, who's always in my normal team. If United had scored a goal and Sancho or Bruno had been involved, it would have made such a difference because the Trent wipeouts, the Robbo wipeouts, even Salah points may have been affected. Also, if Harry Maguire could defend. Salah didn't cost me 19 points. Harry Maguire cost me 19 points. Like, for people that say, why don't you support England? Oh, it's World Cup, Italy aren't there, support England. You're half English, you live in England. I would do, and look, I do. I get behind the Chelsea lads a lot, and without Italy there, I will be supporting England, of course. But can I really get behind a team that Harry Maguire walks into the starting 11 when he plays that badly? He was defending for that third goal. Passed it out on the wing to the young kid that had just come on. A sideways ball. Behind him, made it on the bounce, dispossessed. Oh, and then he tries to step up and Salah walks in behind. Oh, the guy is an embarrassment. He is gone. How?
He's in the team of the tournament at the Euros less than a year ago, right?
Absolute shambles. He cost me 19 points as much as anyone. It's disgraceful. Where are we at? My rank gone.
So you're not a 9K anymore. I'm going to tell you that. I didn't think it was too. I mean, you were at 14K, I think, last time.
Last night after Salah?
Not last night. No, last stream we did. You were at 14K. So you went down to 9K after Ronaldo. I'm guessing did you got you 17 points?
Yeah.
But now you're back down on a red arrow to 16,152.
Okay. That's slightly better than I thought. That's so
I would
sad.
expect that to go down a bit more with the players you've got as well.
But I've got 6 to play.
You have, but four of
6
them
rubbish
are
players.
defenders. You haven't got a City player. You haven't. I don't know. I think it depends what team what team Leicester put out. Because if there's a Madison Hall or something like that,
Well, Madison's starting, isn't he? He didn't start last time out, so Madison starts.
I don't know. I think you're. I'm looking at your team, and I guess a Newcastle clean sheet and an Arsenal win would see you with a green arrow. But can you see Arsenal beating Chelsea away?
And Christ, I don't want them to.
No.
Even at the expense of rank, I don't want them to. I want Reece James and I want Havertz to play well. Like football should be more important. On weeks like this, it doesn't feel it, but football should be more important than FPL. Of course, it should. It's just about whatever I finish on. I've just got to try and be positive and look forward, I guess. Like last night was horrendous, absolutely horrendous, especially after that kind of little. It was that third goal. Salah went from 1 bonus point to 3 bonus points plus the 5 for scoring, 7 points in that last move with 5 minutes to go, just because Harry Maguire can't play football.
Yeah, I mean, I was the one thing I was surprised with your free hit team, the players you took out Burn for target, which it hasn't made any difference, but I think that was probably the right thing to do. You took out Maddison for Sancho. And then you took Cedric out. You took Cancelo out for Cedric.
Yeah, so it was Mads and Cancelo versus Sancho and Cedric. Now I know the right answer to that question. That was a wrong move, but I didn't fancy Maddison to play both. I went for minutes, and look, we all thought Sancho was going to start last night. United scored 3 goals against Norwich. Elanga gets 2 or 3 assists. That could have been Sancho. I wasn't. But in a 3-goal game, United score 3 goals versus Norwich. You expect Sancho to get an attacking return there.
I just can't believe you took Cancelo out. You love Cancelo.
I do. I'd go at everyone for selling him.
I know. And that was when I looked at your team and I saw Cedric was in there and not Cancelo. I was like, what the hell has Cedric ended up in Gianni's?
4.2. I mean, it was a bit of a cheat code. If you want an Arsenal defender, 5.8 or whatever on Gabriel, obviously you more goal threat. Or Cedric, although Tomiyasu could start tonight. Cedric should still play left back. But, I mean, yeah, I'd go without Cancelo for one game. Most FPL managers in the top 10K, 50% of them have gone without Cancelo, period. Like, me bringing him out for one game shouldn't cost me, although me bringing Salah out for one game has clearly cost me. So maybe it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, the mistakes, obviously, looking back now, you say it with hindsight, the mistakes were Fernandes captain over Ronaldo, because that would have been 14 extra points. That could have salvaged this, to be honest. If you've got
I'd have been
Ronaldo
fine with
captain.
Salah last night if I had Ronaldo captain. Fine.
Yeah. Obviously Salah and then the 2 Spurs players blanking against Brighton.
That was really bad, actually. That hit me hard because they
First
were only
game
the team.
Well.
They were in the team at the expense of Salah.
Yeah.
Or at Salah's expense. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean the other like problems. I think most people went for Chris Wood. Saka's obviously going to be in there. The double Newcastle defence was popular. Schmeichel's got Everton. Do you think he's going to get a clean sheet there? So the other ones are kind of, well, I mean, it's all unfortunate, but the big swings were those 3.
It's all unfortunate. You've summarised it well. Even Newcastle that Newcastle-Leicester game, obviously I wanted a 0-0 in that, like 3 defenders in that game.
You mean the greatest game I've ever watched?
I mean, sure. Yeah, that's not great. I can't. One thing I cannot do is have to talk about your amazing call, which it was, to be fair. But Leicester didn't look like scoring. Leicester scored from a scrappy set piece. Those double Newcastle defence should have been nailed on.
That was not a scrappy set piece.
It was a well-worked set piece routine, but it was still a set piece goal that Newcastle should have done better with. And now two defenders.
You can't call that scrappy. That was genius. Love it. We haven't see. This is what people want, Gianni. People want this. Listen, we haven't had this all season.
Last season they had a right treat. They had this every week. If we want to talk about scrappy goals in the Newcastle game, I can think of one.
No, I can't.
I really can think of a scrappy goal in that Newcastle game just before half time.
Just my captain kicking the ball out of your goalkeeper's midriff.
When it went to VAR, I was like, behave. We know this is going to be given. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'll tell you what, mate. I celebrated your win there. I wanted
Did you?
that.
Oh,
And
thanks.
I did. It was great call. I love that call. That's the sort of call I'd make. Like, I don't care much for data. And to those that pick just on data, which is ironic, seeing as you present the data
Yeah.
podcast show black box of FPL, right? And look, the reason I don't have a huge interest in shows like that is because they're so data heavy, and that's not me. I pick on eye test. To see you pick on eye test and then absolutely smash it, like, fair play. That's a gut call that you don't get from looking at numbers. You can only get from watching the game. And you're absolutely right. It was box to box and always involved. Like, great call.
Yeah, it was. I mean, talking to people like Ed on the Spaces and Neil obviously does the team news for Newcastle. The stats often help back up what you see and things. And obviously they're a good, starting block to talk about different things. You can, that's what Black Box wouldn't really work if it's just me and Mark going, I watched that game last night. He did all right, didn't he? Yeah, I think he played all right. That'd be a bit. At least you got
that's
the stats
that's the sort of show I'd do.
It is, yeah. Actually, I was thinking about it. I think it probably could work actually. But yeah, you still need, like. There was a part of me when everyone was, like the same as is always on Twitter, when everyone's going on about it and saying, "Oh, he's a DM," and you think, "Am I wrong about this? Have I just anecdotally what?" But then when I talk to Neil, talk to Ed, talk to other Newcastle fans, and they're all saying different role, different player, involved in everything. You just got to kind of stick with it. So yeah, and it was some of this free hit, right? Your free hit was a lot of big calls that if Salah had blanked, if United stayed, if United had stayed tight, if Spurs had got a big win. It was high risk. It was a high risk free hit. So,
and that's how I play the game. And I like playing the game like that. And I was at a good 9K rank because I play the game like that. I'm the guy that happily went against Salah in game week 9. And I know that stung me, and Havertz blanked versus Norwich, but it meant that in game week 20, whatever, when I captained Havertz and no one else did, and he got me 50 points. Like that, I don't like to do. I tend to go against the obvious. And that's not conscious. I don't try and go against the obvious to look good when it goes right and to look stupid when it goes wrong. Go against the obvious because that's just how my mind works. I go against the obvious a lot in life, not just FPL. That's just me. So yeah, it's cost me this week, but I do hope, maybe my free hit 37 is going to be massive, or maybe the fact that I now have City and already 2 Chelsea players in my team means that next week's really good. Swings and roundabouts. So you've got to, as like gutted as I've been, and you can see my frustration so far on this stream, like I do have to give myself reality checks to go, it's just 1 week. And no one's gonna care at the end of the season what happened in game week 33. If you have a good game week 34, it's forgotten. So that's where I look. Just try and look forward, really.
I'll remind you that when Cedric gets sent off tonight.
If he starts, I mean, he got hooked during the first game because he was playing so poorly, and Tomiyasu could be back fit tonight. So I always knew Tomiyasu could be back, and I did think Cedric would be left back if he did come in this game, Tomiyasu, but we'll see.
Yep. Right, onwards and upwards.
Come on.
It's a new game week coming up. It's game week 34. You're in a good place, I think.
I am a couple of transfers ahead of the majority.
Absolutely. Your team is Ramsdale in goal. Okay, maybe he's not too far ahead of the curve, but that's fine. Cancelo, James, Trent. So you got James already in place. Salah, Havertz. Already got Havertz in place. Really nice. Saka, Rafinha. Very nice. Got the double coming up soon as well. Kulusevski, Broja, and Kane. Let's not talk about your bench. Your bench is bad. Foster, Gelhardt, Doherty, and Amity. That's fine. We don't need to worry about them. You got 2.7 million in the bank.
I've been trimming that bench for good reason.
You have. And you've got a transfer. You've got a free transfer, 2.7 million in the bank. I could guess what you're going to do, but I'd like to hear it from what you're thinking.
Yeah, I've got 3 options. Doherty needs to go. So if I replace him this week, it's going to be for a Chelsea defender. We probably all know, knowing my management style, which Chelsea defender. Do I look like a Rudiger-style manager, or do I look like an Alonso-style manager? We'll leave it there. Or I transfer out one of my midfielders, who could be Rafinha or Kulusevski, although could even be Saka. There's no way I'm selling Saka after watching United last night, by the way.
No.
And I've got the money to upgrade that midfielder. Originally, the plan was Foden, but then we got the Chelsea double in, so that could become Mount. So it's either Mount or Alonso in, Or Foden if I fancied him. Like if Foden went and smashed it tonight, I wouldn't be against going. Sorry, not tonight. He's not got a game tonight, is he?
Foden's playing tonight, yeah.
He is, yeah. Who's he playing?
Playing Brighton.
Oh, of course he is. So yeah, I always liked Foden versus Watford. So yeah, eyes on that. So yeah, Mount, Foden, Alonso, my 3 options.
I don't like to sway you. I don't want to sway you, but surely it's Doherty to Alonso. That to me looks the most obvious transfer by some distance, right? Because your midfield. I don't
want to sell my midfielders really. They're good midfielders to have, right?
Your midfield's strong. You've got an injured player on your bench who's going to keep dropping in value. I mean, I know you say you've taken a lot of money out of your bench, but getting in Alonso that allows you to bench Broja again. If you need to, or if you want to, which you probably do. I mean, he led the line, didn't he? Che Adams didn't play. I bought Che Adams in this week. They put Bro up front of his own. Didn't do well again, really. I mean, the ratings were, I think he got a 5 or something from the Southampton, local papers and stuff. They said he started off quite brightly, but then sort of tailed off towards the end. I do wonder what his
never plays 90
role.
either.
No.
He got 73 minutes. The last time he played 90 was game week 28.
Yeah. So let's just talk about Mount quickly, because you've got Havertz captained at the moment. Reece James obviously been praised for this new right centre-back role, which is like, no, don't put Reece James at right centre-back. But the reasons Tuchel's saying are that it's less intensive, feels like he can get more game time out of him there rather than having him bomb up and down on the wing. So there's obviously that kind of management that he's doing. Werner's come in. What does that do for the likes of Havertz and Mount? Is Werner someone that you'd consider? Come on, you've got to give us your Chelsea wisdom. It's a good looking double for them, West Ham and United.
It's a great looking double, and knowing they double again in 36 and knowing they're out the Champions League, it's tasty. End the season at Watford, like triple Chelsea is firmly on. 2 standout picks for me at Chelsea are the 2 players I own. Like my number 1 and 2 picks for Chelsea, period, are James and Havertz. My number 3 pick is a toss of a coin between Alonso and Mount. My number 4 pick, or 5 if there's 2 above, I've gone for 2 number 3s, would be probably Werner, and then 5 Rudiger. Firstly, at Reece James at right centre back. This is something we saw a lot at the end of last season as well. Tuchel does it to conserve his energy, but also does it because he's an absolute beast at right centre back. So when he plays Vinicius Junior, remember Real Madrid, right centre back, because he can track him. Wilfried Zaha plays on the left. Reece plays right centre back. Jamie Vardy last season, the FA Cup final, and at the end of the season, the Premier League, Vardy tends to go left. Reece James played right centre back, as P always right wing back. It's because of his pace, his power, great in defence. Obviously, we miss him at wing back, but when fixtures are close together, conserving his energy is also important. So I don't mind too much. Obviously, I want to see him at wing back. Even at right centre back, he still mops up the bonus points. He can still get assists fairly deep, and he still gets a little bit of goal involvement. So it's not the same, but he's still a very good option at right centre back because he's just so good.
So do you think he carries on there then?
I think in certain games, there needs to be a good left-hand forward to threaten United, to threaten Chelsea. So, for example, when they play Man United, if Sancho plays, Sancho could be enough. I know he's not been great, Sancho, but he could be seen as the danger man, and therefore, okay, we need to keep an eye on him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Reece James play right centre-back against United, for example. Yeah. But some of the other teams, I'm not so sure. West Ham, Bowen's the problem, not the left side. Bowen on the right. Everton, there's not really a problem there. Wolves and Leicester and Leeds, not massively. Rafinha at Leeds on the right. Leicester, Barnes isn't enough of an issue. So I think we'll see him at right wing back still quite a bit. I think he plays at least 50% at right wing back from now to the end of the season.
Okay, that's good. Because I think if he's playing at right centre back, I think you go Alonso. I think Alonso's done enough to have the edge over him, assuming James plays at centre back and Alonso's at wing back, right? Because you'd expect Alonso to get forward more. But if it's going to be not as easy to call as that, and we might see Reece lining up at right wing back, then I think you go for him over Alonso still. Yeah,
Loftus-Cheek's been playing really well.
He has,
wing, and he has been playing as the wing back. So one to monitor for sure. In terms of Havertz versus Mount, like there's a lot of chat, and I see why a lot are going Mount. Like Mount, if you go off the last couple of weeks, has been mopping up the points. We like that. We saw he took his goal well in the FA Cup. Havertz is still the number 9. Havertz is still the main man. Havertz will still start every game, as will Mount. But in the FA Cup, when a player had to come off to be rested because they were 2-0 up or whatever, it was Havertz. our most precious player, let's wrap him up in cotton wool, was kind of the approach. Havertz to me is still the standout option. And if I was captain in between Havertz and Mount and own them both, I would be captain Havertz. I've had Havertz for 2 months in FPL. So I just think he's a great option. I think Mount's a really good option too. Timo Werner definitely makes Mount and Havertz better in terms of FPL output. Like Werner stretches the pitch, which gives Mount way more space, and even Havertz a bit more space. But Mount is the big one that kind of gets the most out of Werner playing. So when Werner plays, it's almost like a front two with him and Havertz. And Mount then plays central in the 10 rather than as two inside forwards with just Havertz to go ahead of him. So Werner looks good. I can't see him getting dropped. I think he'll play most games, but he's more expensive than Havertz. And he's more expensive than Mount. And he's a forward. So it depends on how your team's set up, if that's an easier or more difficult transfer. For me, Werner's a more difficult transfer because I don't have enough to upgrade Broja or Gelhardt to Werner, and I'm not selling Kane for him. I do have the options in midfield. So in terms of value, I still think Havertz and Mount are better, but I expect Werner to be very, very involved. So many standout assets for Chelsea. I don't think you can go wrong with any of the guys we've mentioned, even Rudiger. If you want, plays every game. Chelsea play Leeds as part of double game week 36, 3 days or 4 days before the FA Cup final. Yep. We will see mass rotation in that Leeds game, but Rudiger will start it. So if you want absolutely nailed for every game, Rudiger will get 6 points a game. When he keeps clean sheets, that's nice. I just think at this time in the season, you want a bit more upside than that.
It's why I like this double for Chelsea, and because I think that one in 36 can be really tricky to know who's going to play. Like, you can see Pulisic and Ziyech probably coming in. Maybe Werner does play up top, because he's missed 2/3 of the season. It's not like he's going to be knackered. He's been playing quite a lot lately, but I think that is a really, really tricky game to call. I like Mount personally. I think Mount is, since he's had this new haircut, he's been absolutely smashed. His buzz cut that he's had, been absolutely killing it. He looks fantastic, and I think that's enlarged from Werner, right? Because Werner's freeing up the space down the middle for Mount to attack.
Yeah.
And get into the box and finish. So yeah, I really like the look of him.
Yeah, if your number 10 gets time, whoever that 10 is on whatever team, if your number 10's given loads of time and space, they're gonna do stuff with it, right? And Mount gets all that time and space because Werner stretches a defense like no other. Like, as much stick as Werner gets, as a Chelsea fan, and a lot of the core Chelsea fans really like him because what he does for that team is so important when he plays. And don't forget, Werner got us to a Champions League final starting the games. Right, like he starts for Germany every game. Like, he is a very valuable asset, even though he can't hit a barn door.
Yeah, absolutely. As enough on Chelsea, just the other team I want to talk about before we finish is Spurs, because obviously Spurs lost to my boys, Brighton, and you can say Spurs were poor and never really got going, but Brighton were really good, really good. Putting the kind of performance that we see from Brighton every now and then, where you look at the team, you think, why are we playing 4 midfielders? Why is Cucurella at left centre back? Yeah. Where's our striker? Like, I looked at the team, I just thought, what is this? Like, this is classic Potter overthinking, but it just works. For some reason, it just works. And Mwepu's great. Like, Trossard played really well, like he's capable of.
Out wide.
And Spurs just didn't have an answer to the quick play and the possession that Brighton had. Do you think it's a concern for all the massive heavy investment in Spurs with Son as well, Kulusevski, Kane? Are you worried about that going into Brentford? Brentford away? Brentford playing quite well lately as well. Do you think they're going to bounce back?
I think they bounce back. I think they'd have had an absolute rocket from Conte. And I think this team, which is short of winners, short of leaders, just had an off day. I think they probably became a little bit complacent because they'd just blown Villa away 4-0. They just scored 5 against Newcastle, 3 against West Ham. They were blowing teams away. And I think they went into that Brighton game. Nice sunny afternoon at home. Oh, it's just little Brighton. And yeah, they didn't step up. It was, it's the same 11 pretty much, give or take, what we've been seeing blowing these teams away. I think they'll bounce back against Brentford. And I expect points from Kane, and I expect probably points from Son a week after I brought him into my free hit team. So yeah, I wouldn't be selling Spurs. I know a few are selling Kulusevski. If I was on wildcard, maybe it'd be something I'd think about, but I still think he's exceptional value, and I can't consider selling him. I know I said if I was bringing Mount in, Kulu or Rafinha could go, but that's probably why I don't make that transfer, because I want both Kulu and Rafinha, both of which double in 36 in my team.
Yeah, I think it is true, because I think realistically, you've got to be captaining a Chelsea player this week, right? It's got to be
Yeah.
one of them. We've talked about all the different options. It could be any of them, but you've got to be captaining one of them. I guess if your only route into one is to sell Kulusevski for Mount, because there's not a huge amount of price in it, I guess I can kind of see it, but I'm more than happy to keep him just off the back of one poor performance. I still think he's a great price at what, 6, 7 or whatever he is.
So cheap. I can't believe how affordable he is, actually. His goal involvements have been super high. Set pieces are good.
6.4, even cheaper than I said. Yeah.
6.4.
6.4. He was 6 million when he joined. Very cheap.
Very good. Yeah.
Yep.
I think I just said set pieces. He's not been on set pieces, but I don't think he's been on any set pieces, but he's still super good.
Yep. Still super good. Good in-depth analysis there, Gianni. I like it.
He is just so good.
Yep. Nice. I think that's it from us. We've had a bit of everything. Bit of ranting, bit of tactical analysis, bit of pain, bit of suffering, but some optimism going ahead that things are going to work out. I think you're in good nick this week. I think you're going to be fine.
I hope so. Look, sometimes you just need to talk it through, right? This is my therapy. Honestly, mate.
Look for this.
Look at me at the start of the stream to now. I'm optimistic and looking forward. And I hope you guys watching at home, if you did transfer Salah out, or you did free hit without him, or you're dead ending into a wild card, and you've had a bad week, it's just a week. No one will remember this week at the end of the season. Certainly not next season.
It's just a week. Well said. Well said.
As we'll remember it for his lifetime, but we'll forget it.
I just make notes for everything, good or
Mate,
bad.
what rank are you on? Because your rank will be on screen, and I've ignored it because obviously we're pre-recording this. I can't see the graphics. But come on, is it like 500 or something?
Nah, not that high. I'm up to 874. I dropped down a bit. I was around 3K or something before that, going into that Newcastle game. So it was very welcome, actually.
Very welcome indeed.
Very welcome.
As was Salah's points last
Absolutely.
night.
Yep. Nice one, Gianni. Mate. Thanks very much. We'll be back next week as always. But yeah, take it easy and speak to you soon.
See you guys.